What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy. I'm going to be doing my UFC 100 predictions right now. It's getting pretty close, so I figured I better go ahead and do it now, or I will probably forget and not do it at all. So I'll start off with, I'm just going to pick some random fights. I think, shit, what's his name? I'm trying to remember. Can't remember this guy's first name. There's too many Tiagos. Paulo Tiago. The fight with him and John Fitch. That fight, I'll be honest, I really think he got lucky against Koscheck when he knocked him out. Don't see that happening in this fight at all. For one, Fitch can take a punch, so if he does happen to land a big shot, I think the GSP fight showed that he can take a pretty good beating and just keep going. So I'm definitely going to have to go with Fitch on that one, plus he's got a lot more experience in the UFC. Let's go next. Coleman and Bonner. Coleman didn't look good. He hasn't looked good in a long time, to be honest. But Stephan Bonner. I think Coleman can probably take Bonner down. Like I said, he's getting older, a little bit slower, not quite as strong. I think he can probably get Bonner down, but I think once he gets there, I think Bonner probably has the jiu-jitsu to submit him. We've not really seen a whole lot of submissions with Bonner, but in the stand-up, I think he would dominate Mark Coleman. And on the ground, I think he has enough if he can avoid the ground and pound to pull off a submission. But if Coleman can, keep him on his back and stay busy, I think he could win a decision. So this one I really think could go either way, but just because of the age and the cardio and all that, I think I'll probably go with Bonner. Akiyama against Belcher. This one will be interesting. Belcher, and he looks really good sometimes, and then he's really kind of hard to pick because even when he looks good, a lot of times he loses. So I probably got to go with Akiyama on that one. I got the last three fights, which are the main fights of the card. I'll go with Henderson and Bisping next. That one, I don't think, if anybody's going to have a one-punch knockout, it's probably going to be Henderson because his chin is a piece of granite, basically, and he's definitely got more power in his punches than Bisping. Wrestling, I think experience-wise and technical ability, I think Henderson's better. It's just the only real advantage I see for Bisping probably is just the fact that he's younger and he has some pretty good cardio, and I think that Henderson, that's kind of questionable a lot of times. He seems to gas pretty early in fights, so if it ends early, I'm definitely going to pick Henderson. If it goes the full three, it's a little more 50-50, maybe even leaning towards Bisping, but I think Henderson will finish Bisping off, to be honest. I don't know if that gives him the next shot at Anderson or if they're going to give that to Vitor Belfort now that he's back. Either one of those would be a good fight to watch, or even Henderson against Vitor Belfort. I've also heard that Damian Maia versus Nate Marquardt, the winner of that, gets Anderson. I've heard three different things, and I've heard at least two of them from Dana, so I don't know which one they're going to go with. I'm going to go Lesnar and Frank Mir next. I think Frank is going to, again, Lesnar obviously is going to dictate where the fight goes. If he wants it on the ground, it's going to go there. If he wants it to stand, it's going to go there. Mir's boxing looked pretty good in the fight with Nogueira. So I really think, other than wrestling and strength, I think Frank Mir has all the advantages. If he comes in with some cardio, Lesnar's not really been tested late into a fight with a guy that's really pushed him. Heath Herring lasted against him, but he didn't really do anything that would test Lesnar's cardio or stamina too much. So I think Frank Mir is going to pull off probably a knee bar, maybe a heel hook. Arm bars, any kind of choke is going to be hard to pull off with Lesnar. But definitely, I think the advantage definitely is Mir in that fight. St. Pierre Alves, I'll just tell you right now, you'll never see me pick against GSP. The guy's just way too good. The only thing that anybody can even remotely match him at 170 is striking. and I don't think anybody has a striking advantage over him. The only real advantage I see for Alves is probably the power in the striking. I think the technique in the striking. I think GSP doesn't really use the leg kicks that Alves does, but he uses like the spinning back kicks and like the Superman punches, and he's got a really good jab. He just times everything out really nice. He always has an awesome game plan. Other than like the one big knockout punch or the punch that stuns GSP like the Sarah fight, I don't see Alves is going to win. Yeah, he looks bigger, but I don't think the core strength. I just don't think anybody can match the explosiveness and the power of GSP at 170. I mean, in his training camp, he out-wrestles Rashad Evans, who's a 205 guy that started in at heavyweight in the UFC. He out-wrestles him, Marquardt, which is a huge middleweight. I just don't see anybody at 170 touching GSP, and really, to be quite honest, I don't see too many at 185 touching GSP. A lot of people talk about the fight with him and Anderson. I've called this for months and months now. If that fight happens, I really think GSP would dominate that fight. I don't think he'd finish it in the first or anything like that, but I definitely think he would be the guy to win that fight. So there's some of my predictions for UFC 100. If you've got a video of you doing your predictions for UFC 100, definitely post that as a video response. Leave your comments, talk about your thoughts on my predictions, give your predictions, or any of the other UFC 100 fights. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it somewhat short. I've got it up to almost 7 minutes now, but definitely post some comments, comment, rate, subscribe as always, and I will be pushing out more videos soon. Like I said, every pay-per-view. One last thing I would like to say real quick. My favorite fighter probably as of Saturday is Clay Guida. I love GSP, don't get me wrong, GSP's my favorite fighter. Fedor's definitely really, really high up there. But Clay Guida, people can say he lay in praise and whatever. That guy is a fucking beast. I don't care what you say. He took head kicks, knees to the face, uppercuts. Dude, he just gets beat on and doesn't give a shit, and I love him for that. So, Clay Guida, I don't care if you never win another fight in the UFC. You've always got at least one fan that will stick with you, win, loss, lay and pray, whatever people want to say about you. You're the fucking man. Rock on.